Today is a very special day. It's a very special day because it's the 59th anniversary of the opening of the architectural masterpiece that is located in the center of Cairo on the Malik Island. And that masterpiece is the Cairo Tower, which is the tallest tower in North Africa and also was the tallest tower after Eiffel Tower. It built by architect Naum Shabib in the era of President Gamal Abdel Nasser. This wonderful building, which is on lotus flower shape or pineapple shape, as it called at the past as the pineapple of Nasser. The tower can be accessed via Tahrir Square or via Sadat metro station, then crossing Qasr Nile Bridge, and then we enter right into El Jazeera Street in front of a statue of the leader Saad Zavloul, and then keep going until we enter the Cairo Tower Street on the left. Upon entering the street, we will notice a huge old tree. Everyone is wondering why it was not removed to expand the road. The reason is that the tree has a great historical value, not less than the value of the Cairo Tower, because in 1868, Khedive Ismail ordered to bring a large group of Bengali fig trees, which has floating roots, and those roots have the ability to extend their branches to the ground again. And these are among the rarest trees in the world. Also, this tree is considered as the last tree of its kind in Egypt, so it must be well preserved. When you skip the tree, we will notice that there are a garden called El Zahriya Garden, and passing through it, we note that the presence of a small garage for cars for people which coming to visit the tower. This garage is for 20 Egyptian pounds per hour. Crossing the garage, we will enter the tower through a security gate, and then we will notice the tickets window on the right. The ticket is for 50 Egyptian pounds for Arabs and Egyptians, and 200 pounds for foreigners, and 20 pounds for using the telescope. The tower is 187 meters high, and it's considered higher than the Great Pyramid of Giza by 43 meters. This tower consists of 62 floors. Also, there are a revolving restaurant sees the entire Cairo from the top. Also, the last floor has a telescope. Through it, you can see the far monuments.
Many Egyptians, especially young people, don't know when the Cairo Tower was built, or the history of its building, or even the cost of its construction. After more than 52 years of its opening, on the 11th of April 1961, the story of its construction that was the first national mission of the Egyptian General Intelligence Agency, that was called Cairo Tower, the longest and the largest known in the history of the Egyptian-American relations, came to light. Cairo boldly authentic, pharaonic, obtaining its right to eternity. The story addressed by the Major General Dr. Adel Shaheen, former Undersecretary of the General Intelligence Agency, in his forthcoming book entitled The Cairo Tower, the First National Mission for the Egyptian General Intelligence, contains details of its construction of the tower as told by the intelligence of the officers themselves. The story of the building of the tower started after an attempt by the American intelligence to penetrate the financial disclosure of President Gamal Abdel Nasser in 1955. President Abdel Nasser received from his advisor Mr. Hassan al-Tuhami a report on his recent visit to the United States of America at the invitation of the American ambassador in Cairo to meet some important political figures in Washington. Al-Tuhami met President Abdel Nasser at his home in Manshat al-Bakkari, and they discussed together the content of the report. The report quoted the advisor to the American president as saying that his country believes at the same time that the position of the political and non-political support adopted by Egypt towards the liberation movements in some countries of the Middle East. The author again entitled that interferes by saying, in my personal and private perception as a former general intelligence officer, that after President Gamal Abdel Nasser finished reading the report, a dialogue took place between him and Hassan al-Tuhami, in which the president touched on that America wants to impose its control on Egypt's foreign policy in exchange for promises of assistance that will often be economic support. It's clear that Egypt's support for Algerian revolution of the great concern to them, and they don't like Egypt's continuation of this, of course. It was clear that American politicians admit that time of Egypt had been living a revolutionary situation and will not be able by any country in the world to determine what to do and what to not do in its relation with the other countries. Afterwards, Nasser took the bribe from the American ambassador in Egypt and made a marvelous victory over the CIA. Then, when it was complete, the Americans named it the Nasser's throne, and the Egyptians named it Stop Roosevelt.
As for the design, reinforced concrete was used in addition to polished pink granite in its construction. The tower was built by 500 workers. The tower structure consists of a reinforced concrete center surrounded by 4 pillars and multiple platforms, one above the other. At the height of the tower, this platform surrounded the outer cover of the tower, which take the form of parallel bars, reinforced concrete. The size of the parallelograms increased evenly, starting with the bottom of the tower, which gave an indication of an upward movement as we go up to the top of the tower. In addition, the overlapping lines along the tower open at its top, imitating the lotus flower that came to us from pharaonic art. The outer surface along the tower are covered with 8 million small pieces of mosaic. The mosaic cover was chosen for its good appearance and weather tolerance. As for the base and the main staircase, shiny pink granite for Aswan was chosen, which was often used by the ancient Egyptians. The journey inside the tower elevators takes 45 seconds to reach the top, where you can see a full panorama of Cairo, the pyramids, the Nile, and the citadel. You feel as if you are visiting all of Cairo in one moment. The 14th floor also contains a restaurant in circular shape, which revolves around a fulcrum to see Cairo. In addition, there is a cafe on the 15th floor where you can get some snacks and drinks while enjoying the view.
Since the construction of the tower, it was closed only twice. The first time was in 2006 for a period of 2 years. During this time, maintenance renovations costing £15 million was carried out by the Egyptian Arab Contractors Company. Such renovations including the treatment and restoration of the concrete tower and the additions of 3 floors of metal structures below the tower. Another floor directly above the main entrance of the establishment of the emergency ladder and elevator for visitors. The development of the entrance to the tower as well with the finishing of its facades and the addition of the new external lighting.
The second time was in February 2014 when the tower was closed due to the fact that the company that had the right to use the tower ended its contract, and the condition of the tower significantly worsened. It was a must to search for a new investor. After nearly 3 months, it was reopened, after signing a new contract with an Egyptian joint stock company, which announced its intention to not lay off any of the workers, and a number of tourists started arriving on the first day of reopening. In 2018, for the first time, a private garage for a Cairo tower was built, and the telescopes were upgraded to provide the clear picture of the beauty of Cairo and its landmarks.
One of the famous guests that visited the tower was President Putin, the President of Russia. It was hosted by the President El-Sisi in 2015. They have dinner in the Rounding restaurant. and Putin gives el-Sisi the iconic Russian rifle AK-47, the Kalashnikov.
Also, Cairo Tower lightning in many colors to many festivals, like the red lightning for Chinese Spring Festival at 15 February 2018. Also, Novo Nordisk company celebrated the International Diabetes Day by lighting the tower by blue light to raise awareness about diabetes and its effect on the family and prevent its complications. There are also the Earth Hour celebrated at 28 March 2020. All the lights of the tower are switched off for 1 hour. Lastly, we say stay safe, stay home.